Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be taking you through the various different internship programs which I've been a part of, and I'll be sharing my experiences of these programs. I'll be sharing details such as the company names, the roles that I did, the length of the program, what I did there, what I learned and how I got the job and so on. And just to quickly summarize before we start, the organizations which we will be going through are Mattioli Woods, Loughborough University, Goldman Sachs and J.P, which are all of the places where I did internships at. I think a great piece of advice for university students is to always begin with an end in mind. And so for me, when I started university many years ago, I decided that I knew I wanted to work in financial services. And so throughout university, so throughout first year, second year, my placement year, and my final year, everything I did was catered towards achieving this goal. Okay, so let's get straight into it and begin with my first internship, which was at a wealth management company called Mattioli Woods. Mattioli Woods are now one of the UK's leading providers of pension consultancy and wealth management services. So when I was working there, my role was to be a wealth management intern, and the program length that I did was a 10-week summer internship. So what I did was, on this program, I helped with a lot of the administrative work that's involved in the different types of pension schemes for high net worth individuals. And I also prepared annual valuation summaries for these high net worth individuals. So an annual valuation summary is basically an extensive deck which shows you exactly what the pension pot that the individual has is worth, and it gives you a breakdown into the different asset classes that the pension pot is made up of and how much each asset class is worth. So how much of the pension pot is divided into equities, fixed income, cash, and so on. When I was there, I learned lots of different things. So I learned, how an office environment operates. It was my first ever corporate experience. And I also got to do, a lot of things like, working in a team, giving presentations to clients and so on. So it helped me really develop, different skills that I wouldn't develop at my university degree, like, communication skills, team working skills. And it gave me my first ever kind of office and corporate experience, which was really, really important. The way that I got this internship was really interesting because I was only in my first year of university at the time, and usually summer internships are for penultimate year students, but one of my friends had done a 1-week work experience at Mattioli Woods while he was in college and told me that they were taking on summer interns. And as a result, before the summer internship program actually opened, I gave the company a lot of, cold calls, basically asking them when they'd open the program. And, they saw how enthusiastic and passionate I was about doing this internship. And thankfully, when the programs opened and I applied, I was able to get through to the interview stages and secure the offer. So it just shows how important it is to actually be really proactive and get, any sort of experience on your CV in your first year. And if it's a summer internship, then that will really help you out when it comes to, future applications, because this internship was really key to me getting my internship in future years at other bigger companies like Goldman Sachs and J.P. This brings us on to the second internship experience which I had, which was at the Loughborough University Careers Office. So this is where I went to university, and the Loughborough University Careers Office is the central careers office which basically helps all Loughborough University students and it helps them to find internships and graduate roles while they're at university. So my role there was to work as a careers office assistant, and the length of this program was about 12 months. So I worked during my entire second year of university. So what I did there was I worked part-time for about 6 to 10 hours to liaise with small to medium enterprises around the Midlands mostly to understand the jobs that they wanted to advertise to Loughborough University students. And as a result, we'd work together to come up with a job description that was suitable, and then I would upload that job description onto the Loughborough University careers portal so that students had access to this and they were able to apply for it. This job meant, again, I had another experience on my CV when it came to applying for placement years and future graduate roles, which was great. And I learned so many things while I was there. So while I was there, I was able to familiarize myself with lots of different job descriptions for internships and graduate roles. And it meant that, I was very familiar with the sort of skills that companies wanted. And then again, while I was there, I was able to build some of my communication skills because I was able to work alongside, other team members and other colleagues who I could learn from, but also I was constantly liaising with lots of small, medium enterprises outside of the university, which meant that I could really learn to interact with lots of different people and really learn to build a rapport with them, which was amazing for me. Finally, another skill that working part-time at the careers office gave me was time management. So I was really able to learn how to manage my time between, university modules and exams versus, being able to manage this part-time job where I worked about 6 to 10 hours. So that was great for me. The way I actually got this job was that we got an email at university saying, at the start of our second year, saying that the careers office wanted a few, student employees that would help be assistants at the careers office. And so as soon as I saw the email, I was as proactive as possible, and I basically just sent off my application. And fortunately for me, I was successful in the CV stage and then the actual interview, which was great for me. So that's how I actually got the job. This brings me on to my third internship experience, which was my internship at Goldman Sachs, who are basically a leading global investment bank, securities, and investment management firm that provide a range of different financial services to different clients, like other financial institutions, corporations, governments, and even individuals. While I was there, I was working in the role of a finance intern, and the length of the program that I did was 12 months long because I did a year in industry, so a year-long placement there while I was working full-time. I did lots of different things there so to actually learn about all of the different things that I did as an intern at Goldman Sachs, you could check out this video where I basically go through a day in the life of an intern at Goldman Sachs and also what an accountant at Goldman Sachs does, where I explain all of the work in more detail if you're interested. These videos will also be linked down in the description below if you want to check them out. But overall, just to quickly summarize exactly what we worked on a lot of different accounting workflows like, preparing financial statements, financial reporting, P&L analysis, FX hedging, and so on and so forth. While I was at Goldman Sachs, I learned so many different things, but just to point out some of the key things that I learned, one of which was my problem-solving skills. So naturally working there as an accountant, as a finance intern, it's very important that you develop those problem-solving skills. So that's something that I was able to develop while I was working there. In addition to this, I was able to develop a lot of Excel skills. So usually at university you don't use a lot of Excel, and in the education system in general, you rarely use Excel, and so doing this internship really helped me develop my Excel skills, which are quite transferable and you can use them in any role, which was great for me. And finally, I also developed a lot of presentation skills. So the fact that you're constantly giving presentations to your peers and to your manager and so on, it just meant that you can sort of really develop these presentation skills that you wouldn't develop in the classroom, which again was great for me. If you want to learn about exactly how I got this internship at Goldman Sachs, you can watch a separate video which I've made which talks through how I got this internship and how you can do the same for yourself. But just to quickly summarize, I researched the job description and the company that I wanted to apply for. So I researched the job of a finance intern at Goldman Sachs, and I made sure that I developed all of the different skills and experiences that I needed to basically get that job. So this meant I made sure I'd got myself a summer internship. I'd had some other paid experiences on my CV, like the ones at Mattioli Woods and at the Loughborough University careers office. After this, I'd made sure that I made myself well-rounded by getting lots of different voluntary experiences on my CV. And finally, I also attended lots of different careers fairs where I got to speak to lots of different employees from the company to learn more about the company and the role. And then I could use them to basically name drop some of them as well in my cover letter to show I'd spoken to all of these different colleagues to show exactly how enthusiastic and passionate I was about, this opportunity. This brings me on to my fourth and final internship experience, which was at J.P. Morgan, which is a leading global financial services company which provides services like investment banking, commercial banking, asset management, and more. While I was there, I took up the role of a GF and BM summer intern, which is the Global Finance and Business Management Division. While I was there, I summer interned for 10 weeks over the summer. And if you want to know more about what I did there, you can watch this video where I talk about a day in the life of an intern at JP Morgan. But just to summarize, we worked on a lot of different things. So one of my main projects was to work with my team on a KYC or Know Your Customer project. So in this project, we basically analyzed the current KYC procedures that the business had, and we basically analyzed how we could improve this for the future. We also got the chance to do some pro bono work, so we worked with a Scottish mentoring charity to come up with a post-COVID-19 mentoring plan, which was again a really interesting experience for us, and it helped us get some pro bono experience on our CV. What I learned there was lots of different skills again. So while I was there, I learned to develop my presentation skills. We were developing, presentations and presenting them to lots of different internal and external stakeholders. So, internally speaking, it would be to our managers. Externally, we were developing, decks and presentations to present to different charities and so on. So it really helped me develop those presentational skills. And also I developed a lot of networking skills. So over the 10 weeks, I was really able to network with lots of different people across the organization, develop a strong connection with them, which was really important because it means that, I can help them over the course of my career and they can also help me, and we can just learn from each other. So those were the two main things that I developed from the internship. Finally, talking about how exactly I got the internship, so I researched the job description thoroughly and made sure that I understood all of the different skills and experiences that, the company wanted me to have on my CV before I'd applied. So for me, I was fortunate enough to obviously at this point have my experiences at Mattioli Woods, at Loughborough University, and at Goldman Sachs before I'd applied. So it put me in a really good position compared to other candidates. Also, apart from the work experience, which was paid, I also had a lot of voluntary experience, which made me seem really well-rounded, which again helps with the application process. And finally, I did a lot of research into the company values and other aspects of the company which really interested me, like, you know, some of the ESG things that JP Morgan do for the environment and for the climate, which again, you know, helped me stand out versus other candidates. That brings us to the end of the video. So that was just a really quick whistle-stop tour of all of the different internship programs that I've been a part of, and hopefully you can learn from some of my experiences and land your own experiences going forward and secure that internship or dream graduate role that you've always wanted. Hopefully you found that useful, and if you did, please hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next video.